There is a feature on the Bernina 560 embroidery that allows you to exactly pick a point within a design and perfectly position it, maybe next to something you've already done, hook up one to another design, so you could have like endless embroidery. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we've just finished stitching out this fun design. This is a built-in design, and I'm thinking I want to add some lettering to it. So we're going to come all the way back out, and let's pick the font that is kind of the nice script, and I'm going to spell out the word love. So once we get our letters on screen, you're going to see what it looks like. Now, first thing we notice is that it does fit in the optional small hoop. Once again, the machine always shows you which hoop size it would fit, and then you tell it which hoop size you're actually using. So let's go ahead and do the oval hoop. Now, what I want to show you, and this is how we're going to do it, is we're going to first zoom in on this word. So the love, I'm going to take a point, and for this example, I'm going to use the V, and I want to see where the lowest stitch of the V is, and then I'm going to show you how I can match it up to a stitch that is on this design. So not just centering the design, picking the needle in the center and then moving that to like a centered position. I want to take one part of the design. I could take this little stitch of the L, for example. So if I put my little cursor here, let's go ahead and go back to the oval where I can get it to actually set up here. And then zoom in. So what you're seeing is, and here's how I had to get there, is in the hoop section, I needed to take off the center bullseye and just leave this, here's what it's called, virtual positioning. That's actually what we're doing. So in other words, you can position anything virtually anywhere. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna go ahead and zoom in. And if I can't see it, I can use kind of the panning option where I can kind of move this from side to side. So there's my V. So if I wanted to, I could actually find the lowest stitch. Once again, I could even find the lowest stitch on that bottom of the L, for example. Okay, so once you pick your stitch, so here's our stitch, kind of right at the bottom there. Good. Yes. And then let's zoom out just a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. So right now my needle is attached to that little plus or crosshair. That means when I go to move something, I am moving the needle that is attached to that last stitch. So I'm going to just kind of come up here, and there's a top part of this little swirl of the heart, and I'm going to bring the needle down. Now I'm not just there yet, but I can so dial this in, and almost a little bit more to one side, and I can see that that is going to touch. That is exactly the position that that stitch will be on this fabric. So when we're ready, we'll go ahead, we'll come out here, we'll get ready to stitch it so you can truly see. Now it always moves to the first stitch, so if it kind of jumps away from where you thought you were, that's okay, because once it starts stitching, you're going to really see that this is going to work just amazing. So what I'm going to do is just let this stitch, and then I'll show you the final result. And here's our little clip, and get that started. So it'll take about 3 minutes to stitch, and then I can show you how we were able to position any stitch within a design to touch any exact part on our fabric. All right, it is finished. Let me show you what we were able to accomplish using the virtual positioning of this machine. So we positioned the needle to be below the V in the design, and then moved that needle to touch the top of this little swirl. And then when we went to stitch, voila, everything matched up. So if you're looking to do something where you need to re-hoop or realign, this is one way where you could instantly get something to touch. Now, I didn't have to touch just the center. I could have used any part within a design, the end of the E, the beginning of the L, or any place. And that's what they call virtual positioning.